I never thought I'd be up here coming to talk to you people. I wasn't even prepared for it. And for this, I apologize. My fellow councilman that was supposed to have been here had to go for a meeting in Calgary yesterday. So it's actually a pleasure for me to come and talk. Of course, I'm a little overwhelmed here, but it's all for John. I'm not going to read the whole book, by the way. I just wrote down a little bit of stuff in here. And by the way, I won't be using the slide because that was Louis' presentation, but basically what I'm going to be talking about is in there for the most part, but I'm going to tell you parts of what I know, what I come growing up, and what I've seen. One of the things about being tall. First of all, nigang nas kamau mamau yotau e mau te tagu te ana notes o mo te pi wam tagu mago magantik. I thank the Creator for bringing me here today to come and speak to you people. Thank you, Yellow Quill, for opening the eyes for many and bringing us here together. I was quite shocked to hear of the stories that I've been hearing in the past few days here as a newly elected official. And I thank the elders for being here, and Elder Cardinal there. He's been chumming around with me these past few days here. Wasn't really part of our schedule. All of a sudden, next thing you know, I have a buddy beside me here, and he's been drilling me ever since day one when I got elected this year. First person to come and talk to me was him, and he said, you know, we were looking at the lake, and he said, water. We've been working on this issue, he's been saying. We've been working on this for a mighty long time, and we're having problems having difficulties in getting a new system. But it doesn't take long for me to understand where he was coming from, because as a tradesperson, I'm a carpenter. So, and I've been in that field for quite some time now, and quite a few years, in fact. And also, I'm a studying educator, a teacher. I'm working on my teaching degree, and so it doesn't take much for me to understand what the issue is. Now, I guess a lot of things coming through my mind right now. It's just like a floodgate just opened up here, and there's a few things that I wrote down here that I wanted to say, but I don't think I'm going to be following that, because my heart's telling me otherwise, because I only have a few minutes here. When I was growing up, there was the lake was pristine, as the way the reports say. Apparently the study that they do seems to be falling from the time long ago when the waters were pristine. But in that time, it was an illusion that I was living in, because I was growing up as a hunter. My language is Cree, the first language. So I learned to hunt and fish the waters of our lake there. Every year we used to go to the creek and watch the fish spawn. And of course, we take our share to go and eat. And it was just loaded with fish, and we used to drink that water. And then, you know, thinking back at that time, and there was farms upstream already. Now, I don't know. I figured it was all natural anyway, so I didn't know there was contaminants coming down. And now, nowadays, you're lucky to see those streams if they're in the springtime, if they're just a trickle. Right now, as it is, our lake, I went for a walk the other day here, and I paced it out from where we grew up. It's about, I'd say about a little over 100 feet from where it was originally. So the drought has taken its toll, and at the same time we're drinking this water. That lake has two sources that comes in and one out. Both of them are not working. So when I think about it, and I'm not an expert in the water, in the area of water, but something tells me, that water ain't pristine anymore. There's no fresh water coming in, and there's certainly nothing flowing out, all except through our water treatment there. So we're faced with a dilemma here. We're faced with possible shortage of water, possible stagnation. My eyes really opened up when I came into council, and then because Herb and Tony's been just fantastic. I mean, I think I lack words, because he's been, I think, heck, he's been talking to me like a scientist, and man, he's pretty fluent at what he's talking about. But I don't want to take too much of his time. But as a community member, I've seen some of the things that the presenters talked about here, in regards to skin irritations, skin problems. Now, just as a leader, what am I going to do? All of a sudden, I'm not the only one. I'm only 1/9 of my fellowship. But I think it's through this type of organization that we need to come as a whole, me and my colleagues, for our own. But from there, we could probably set the goal for, or a template, that template of change they're talking about. Maybe we fit in that category. I don't know. I'm still young. The elders are leading us. So by no means am I an expert. My mom, my late mom, she had rheumatoid arthritis. Now, is this related to this water issue? Her and my late dad had passed on from heart attacks, from heart disease. Now, most likely, part of that is contributed to the diet. Now, I'm starting to think twice here. My family has a history of heart disorder. I don't know, maybe next year next conference, if I come here, I mean, when it comes around, maybe I won't be here, I don't know. But I'm going to certainly take care of myself, and I want to, as a leader, I think it's up to me to carry on the torch and try to educate our people, at the same time convince fellow councilmen that we need to be very proactive at what's occurring here and back home. I appreciate that INAC gave us some money to begin with that pilot project that my fellow relative here is going to be talking about a little bit. But there needs to be more done here than just replacing that water plant. We're going to have to look for a different source sometime in the near future. This is a band-aid solution, what we're getting, but it is nevertheless part of a solution. So at the same time here, I feel frustrated as a new person, young person, a wannabe leader. I want to do good for my people. I'd like to, my heart cries because this week, there was a stillborn. I phoned home the other day. One of my relatives lives here, just to get his number so I can chat with him, and his grandchild was stillborn. I don't know what the cause is. And we were talking about these germs that are in the water and what they're causing. So we need more than just the water plant at home, guys. We need something that has to be done there with regards to study. There needs to be an in-depth study done. I don't know what I'm going to do here, Tony. How I'm going to get by with this. I know you've been urging me and our fellow councilman. It's not for you. You're doing it for. It's for the good of our grandchildren. We're not talking about 10 years here. We're talking about 20, 30 years, somewhere in the future. But I think you guys really started something. Herb, I gotta commend you too. I know it's very difficult that you have to deal with us in the same time, with the community at large and with this issue, because we don't see them too. They're really, I guess, under a lot of stress because our waters, our quantity is quite low too. I guess we can get by with what we have, but we're reluctant to have our schools continue at this time. But Herb has assured us that we're gonna continue. We'll just have enough to get by, but we're gonna have to get this thing in place and soon. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to read one letter here from an elder from our community. He was here, and this is only one. Just imagine once word gets out that there's something going on here, and you're not getting these stomach aches, or you're not having these skin rashes, or what about heart attack, or else these amputees from diabetes. I think this is just the tip of the iceberg, and as a newly elected, heck, I feel good to be helping my community out. It says, respected elders, delegates, ladies and gentlemen. I should have started that. For the past several years, the Saddle Lake First Nations residents have been affected by unsafe drinking water. During this period, the detailed reports presented by the Saddle Lake leaders and staff concerning the water problem have failed to convince government representatives that the water is a health threat to the people. About 5 years ago, I began to feel ill when I drank my cistern water. Water testing results showed that this water is contaminated. Not only can I no longer drink my home water, but I can't even use this water for taking a bath because of its skin irritation effects. Must people die before the government responds? Do they? Must the Saddle Lake people escape their own community to live elsewhere where there's cleaner water? Now he says, this conference of immense importance has tremendously helped me to gain a total new, broader perspective on how critical and widespread the water problem is in Canada's communities, and it is too, from what we hear. Thank you, Yellowquill. I feel that we have an excellent opportunity to work together to further expose the serious water problems affecting our communities, to work as partners in finding and implementing solutions. I want to compliment the Safe Drinking Water Foundation for hosting a very informative conference. Respectfully submitted, Ben Whiskey Jack, Senior of Saddle Lake. I share those sentiments with him. I learned a couple of new words here ever since I started in my role. Giardia and cryptosporidium. Man, I feel like I'm smart now. Those are two new words I have to add into my vocabulary. And one more thing before I go. I'd like to thank you one more time for having us here, and I'll let Tony take over here. And I was thinking about that honey bucket. Tony was what's his name? Tom. Yeah, thank you. Tom was mentioning, man, I could relate to that. I was going to say I was going to relate to that ring. No, it's the honey bucket. It's you have to have lived that to appreciate what we're laughing at here, because a long time ago that was one of the first forms of sanitation. That was our raw sewage, or I don't know. But anyways, thank you very much. I found it kind of funny when he mentioned the honey bucket, and he brought it upon kind of humbly and funny. Thank you very much.